I had always believed in loyalty, in trust, in building a life with someone side by side, through the good and the bad. That's why, when I married Lena, I thought I had found my partner for life. 4 years, I worked tirelessly, not just for myself, but for us. I built a stable life, supported her dreams, and tried my best to be the man she could rely on. I wasn't perfect, but I was devoted. Every late night at work, every compromise, every sacrifice was for our future together. Then I found out she was cheating. At first, I couldn't believe it. I thought it must be a mistake, a misunderstanding. But the evidence was clear, undeniable. Messages, late-night meetings, and an emotional distance that had grown too heavy to ignore. My heart shattered in a way I didn't think was possible. I confronted her gently at first, hoping there was still a chance to repair what had been broken. But she didn't apologize. She didn't show remorse. Instead, she laughed and said, "I just want a real man, someone exciting, someone who can give me what I need." The words hit harder than any physical blow ever could. I had been standing beside her through everything, being her partner, her supporter, her confidant, and yet, according to her, I wasn't enough. I wanted to beg, to explain, to convince her that I was the man she was looking for. But in that moment, I realized something important. No amount of pleading or justification could change someone who had already decided to betray your trust. I packed my things and left the house that night. Not out of anger, not out of revenge, but out of self-respect. If she wanted excitement at the expense of loyalty and love, then I would not compromise my dignity for her whims. The days that followed were painful. Friends offered support, but nothing could fill the void of betrayal. I struggled with self-doubt, wondering if I had failed somehow. But slowly, I began to realize that her choices reflected her values, not mine. I had been a good husband, perhaps the best she ever had. And losing her didn't mean I had lost myself. Months later, she came back, expecting forgiveness, expecting me to still be there. But I had moved on. I had rebuilt my life with clarity and purpose. I discovered that strength comes not from holding on to someone who doesn't appreciate you, but from standing tall and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. Now, I live a life of fulfillment, surrounded by people who value me, respect me, and love me authentically. She got the excitement she thought she wanted, but in doing so, she lost the one man who had genuinely cared for her, someone who would have stood by her through anything. And that is a truth I carry quietly, without bitterness. Because sometimes, life's harshest lessons are also its most liberating. I didn't lose because she left. I won because I didn't compromise who I am for someone who didn't value me. The irony is not lost on me. She searched for a real man, but in chasing illusions, she lost the man who had been real all along. I wish her well, but I no longer live in her story. I live in mine, stronger, wiser, and unafraid to value myself first. And that, I realized, is the definition of true strength, knowing your worth, and never giving it away to someone who doesn't see it.